Um, I'm not mentioning my name here. I am a Rohingya youth, an activist, a photographer, and a community-based researcher living in the world largest refugee camp in Bangladesh. Generally, we are not safe even in our own shelter. We are like lions of circus. Anyone can harm or beat, even in the presence of so-called security forces from Bangladesh government. Even more, these camp authorities try to make our life difficult by different way in a state of securing. We lost diamonds in search of gold. Earlier, when we were in Myanmar, our enemies were distinct and specified Myanmar military and bodies Rakhine. But here in camp, it, it is totally different and difficult to identify who is friend and who is enemy. Let me answer last part of your question first. I am quite sure and confident that Rohingya will choose their country if offer them uh, offer them on one side a worldly event and another side their country. Now let's say what I see the future of my own people. First of all, we should make sure that we could make a well-educated and well-trained generation who will work for the betterment of our land and people. Now let's say how can we get access to these facilities? Muslim countries have enough power and wealth to give us this facility. So if OIC work for this thing, then I can definitely say that this plan will work. We do not fear to sacrifice, but we have less opportunity and guidelines. Now you can say how critical is the Myanmar situation right now. CRPH community representing Tietu is trying to combine rebel armed groups against the dictator and military. So, in this very important point, if we can provide them troops and armies, then I don't think CRPH will reject the offer. So, we have sufficiently manpower, but where will get weapons? Then I would like to say that if the Muslim nation care about the future of Islam in Asia, they must help the Rohingya. Very interesting question. Before answering this question, I will take a few minutes to highlight some sorts of challenges that Rohingya people are going through here in the camp. For example, number one, our daily foods. Here in Asia, we mostly eat rice as our major food, where there are two major items. One is rice and the other is curry. So we are getting rice and partial part of curry like onions, garlic, oil, chilies, spices and salt, but we still remain and need to manage two major items, fish, meat and vegetables. For the curry by our own selves, there are several people in camp who cannot afford to manage delicious and favorable meal in the whole month to year. Secondly, our daily health issues. Though there are lots of health clinics, but their service are quite limited and sometimes used to misbehave with Rohingya people by showing sheep behaviors. We feel shame to visit their clinic, but they are good and reputed clinics to like Turkish and Phil Hospital, MSF Hospital, Hope Hospital, Salt Financial Literacy International, and few IOM clinics who are giving better services to some limited health issues. But here are lots of other curable, untreated, communicable and non-communicable diseases in camp, which people do not afford to manage to treat if they get such diseases, as most of the people, 90% people are jobless and lack of business and income sources. Third, formal education. Today, we Rohingya are in this very critical poor stage that our own people harm each other due to the block edge to the assessment of formal and proper education by Burmese government. Once we were a novel community of Arakan, but today we feel shame that even Rakhine bodies are 1 foot ahead to us. This is just because of Myanmar terrorist government. Today, Bangladesh government is also doing the same thing. Education is the most important and foremost basic right of a human being, but we are not getting such an important thing here. We believe as a Muslim minority we will get sufficient support from Muslim nations to make sure that we Rohingya get our right as soon as possible. Number four, general challenges. Every Rohingya has some other general challenges besides the above mentioned issues like giving marriage to our daughters and sisters, purchasing clothes for daily wearing, lighting materials, home-based items, shoes, cutting hairs, and shaving. Most people need to purchase their own medication in most cases, mobile bill, etc. Plan sabotage to terrorize Rohingya in Bangladesh and Jammu Kashmir. We cannot say what does this mean and who are behind this thing, but we continuously see most of the Assanis are local, whose community people. This means that they are working under some masterminds who are intended to harm Rohingya. The same case that recently happened in Balohali camp also, they are involved some local, destroyed nearly 16,000 shelters and made and displaced 50,000 people. Now their situation is very critical and they have nothing. They are already lost everything they had, and now they are also the humanitarian agency are just supporting them to rebuild their shelter and just providing tarpaulin and some basic material to rebuild their shelter, but they need many support. They need many support because they have nothing, so they need many support. They also the Ramadan is a hit. Ramadan is coming very soon. They do not have nothing, have anything to perform prayer to perform prayer in the Ramadan. Even they do not have masjid to attend the prayer, so they need your support. If the people of Turkish support them in this critical situation, it will be very helpful for them. Rohingya are thinking that Bangladesh government see us as threat for Chittagong area. Government is trying to divide us on different unexplored and uninhabitable territories so that we can be force us to dance according to their music. You can see generosity and kindness of the government and people of Turkey that they stand for the rights and support of oppressed communities for all the time in all over the world. By seeing the recent success of Azerbaijan, of our Armenian dictators, we Rohingya regret that today if we would have such a powerful and generous Muslim neighboring nation like Turkey and Pakistan, then we do not need to lose our territory to the hand of Buddhist extremists, especially Myanmar terrorist militaries. Thank you, and thank you so much.